Here is the instructional video for the snow angel technique in the chair. Now we're going to transition into our chair version of our snow angels. What I love so much about the Relief Through Rolling curriculum is that it provides every single person an opportunity to do all of these amazing techniques that before now a lot of people weren't able to use the foam roller to help them find relief from pain. So all you have to be able to do is sit in a comfy recliner chair or couch, or even in your bed. You could take a few of the pillows in your bed and prop them up against the wall, put the roller against those pillows, and then get up on the bed and lean and lay up against that roller. And you're going to be able to get all of these amazing benefits that this technique produces. So what we're going to have Jenna do is she's in a recliner chair. All she's going to do is she's going to lean back. Now what she's going to do with her arms is that her arms are going to come out by her sides, and nice and easy she's just going to start to flap her wings. Stick her slow is the key, and what's going to happen with this is as she's going through this motion, it's starting to open up the front of the chest, it's starting to relax and soften all of this powerful musculature on the front side that starts to pull the shoulders out of position and can have a tremendous amount of stress in the back and the shoulders and the neck. And so as she's doing this, what she wants to pay attention to is making sure that there's no pain with this. So let's say she would be doing this motion. If she got to a point where it felt like there was a catch or any kind of a pinch in the shoulder, she would actually let the arm come forward around that pinch, and then she could let the arm go back as soon as it can do that comfortably. The other big thing that I really want you to pay attention to while you're doing this is that you're not trying to force the arms back. You're just letting them go to where they can go to comfortably. So let's say the first week you're doing this, maybe your arms are more forward and they don't go up all the way. Maybe they only go to here. But the second week you start doing this, or maybe a month later, what starts happening is that those arms start coming back and they start being able to get a bit more range of motion, and then we start to really get a lot of great functionality out of this shoulder girdle. So as you lay a little bit further back in that recliner chair, what happens is that it puts more weight into that roller, and now you don't have to try to get on the floor and balance on the floor. You can do this in the comfort of the recliner chair and get all of the same amazing benefits that we're actually getting on the floor if we do the floor version. So again, I know my arm's in her way a little bit, but she's going to let those arms stick her slow, nice and easy, go through that motion. So after she does that with both arms at the same time, the next one that she's going to do is she's going to pick one side, and she's going to focus on one side at a time. And the benefit that that's going to give is that when you do one side at a time, it's really going to start to clean up the muddying and the blurriness that happens in your brain. There's actually a part of your brain that is responsible for sensing where the shoulder is at, and the shoulder gets designated to a certain part of the brain. And what happens when people are experiencing chronic pain or lack of movement, and they've just not really been using their arm over a time period, is that the brain starts to get muddy. Like if you were trying to look in the water and you had nice clear water and you can see in the bottom versus water that was really muddy, you couldn't tell what was underneath. And so it's hard to be focused and pick up the things that you need to pick up out of the water. The same thing happens in this brain. When we start doing this movement one side at a time, it starts to clear up that water so your brain can get a better idea of where the arm is actually at in space, how it's actually moving, what parts are doing what. And so this unilateral snow angel is a very important part of this protocol. So she would switch her arms and she would do 4 or 5 more on the other side, because we're always trying to create as much symmetry as possible within the structure. Now we can't ever be perfectly symmetrical because we're one side dominant. The tasks that we do develop the body a little differently, but that being said, we're working towards symmetry as much as we can. So now the third phase of this, which is a really fun one, is we're going to call it alternating. We're going to alternate our wings. So one arm is going to start up, one arm is going to start down, and all she's going to do is still going that sticker slow speed, as she's just going to alternate her wings as she's flapping. Now what's going to happen is that as you're doing this is one scapula is up And then as you alternate the wings, it changes how those scapula are moving, or your shoulder blades on the back side of your body. And that's going to really change the pull and the pressure into the roller. Because remember, the roller is sitting right here in the middle, and those scapula are rubbing against the roller. So not only is this going to help open up the front side of the body, but this is going to start putting pressure, and it's going to work all of the tissue on the back side of the body. And she can feel when she gets to different spots, it puts different pressure into that roller versus if they're going both the same direction at the same time. And what I want you to keep in mind is, just like a good recipe, there's steps that we go through, and if we can follow those steps in those order, we're going to get so much more of a meal out of our ingredients than if we just kind of throw everything together at the same time. And so when we're working through the Relief Through Rolling curriculum, you want to make sure that you follow that recipe. And so with our seated snow angels, it's going to be bilateral, and then unilateral, one at a time, and then we'll alternate our wings as we're doing that. And then the last phase that we're going to do is we're actually going to add a little bit of myofascial work or massage work. Everybody calls this term a little bit different. Certain offices say myofascial release, other offices say massage. It's really all the same thing. So what we're going to have Jenna do is she's going to keep moving her arm on the left side. So she's going to use her right hand, and what she's going to do is she's going to use the finger pads of her right hand and not her fingertips. What some people will do is that they'll use the fingertips to do this, and they really dig in, and they actually can create some bruising and some tissue trauma through there. The key is that this is comfortable and relaxed. So what we're going to have Jenna do is she's going to take her finger pads and she's going to put them right in the middle of her sternum or her breastbone. Now the motion that she's going to do is, as the arm comes up and it gets into a spot that feels like it's a little tight, she's going to work 4 or 5 slow, small circles as she's doing that. She's not digging in, she's not pressing hard. It's nice and comfortable, and it's nice and easy. After 4 or 5 small circles, the arm comes up a little bit higher and the hand comes up a little bit higher. She's going to work 4 or 5 small circles. Again, nice, comfortable pressure, nothing hard, nothing poking, nothing digging, and she's going to do that all the way from the bottom to the top of the breastbone or the shoulder, or the breastbone or the sternum. Now, if in your recliner chair, the more that recliner chair is being reclined back, the more that arm will be able to stretch, and it will really have a good positive impact on being able to get a little more bang for the buck out of these particular techniques that we're working through here. And then, of course, you would always want to work the other side. Again, like we just talked about, making sure everything is as symmetrical as possible. So this is going to be a great way to be able to open up that shoulder girdle, help the back and the neck and the hips, because again, all of this tissue is connected on the back side of the body, and as the roller is putting pressure against all of that, we know you're going to be able to find relief from pain, not necessarily because there was anything wrong with your body, but when those tissues are holding and contracting too tightly, the brain can sense that there's danger, and it says, oh my gosh, something bad is happening, when maybe there's really not anything bad happening and the tissues are just too tight. So we know that if you implement this into your life, you're going to really be able to move better, move more freely, breathe better, and ultimately have less pain.